Welcome to TBBar TV, your go-to source for the latest news and updates. Today we're diving into the complex and concerning world of trade wars. Specifically, the recent trade tensions sparked by President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. It's a high-stakes game with global implications, and we're going to break it all down for you. We'll examine the motivations behind these tariffs, the retaliatory measures taken by our trading partners, and the potential fallout on the global economy. We're talking jobs, prices, and the very fabric of international relations. So buckle up because things are about to get interesting. In a move that sent shockwaves through the global economy, President Trump slapped hefty tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Canada, Mexico, and China. These tariffs, essentially taxes on imported goods, were aimed at protecting American industries, particularly steel and aluminum, from what the Trump administration called unfair competition. The move, however, was met with swift and sharp condemnation from our allies and trading partners. Canada and Mexico, our NAFTA partners, decried the tariffs as unjustified and harmful to the integrated North American economy. China, meanwhile, labeled the tariffs as protectionist and vowed to retaliate. The Trump administration argues that these tariffs are essential to protect American jobs and industries that have been struggling for years. They point to the decline of the American manufacturing sector and the loss of millions of manufacturing jobs as evidence that action is needed. The tariffs, they contend, will level the playing field, making American-made goods more competitive and encouraging companies to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. But critics argue that this protectionist approach will ultimately harm the American economy by raising prices for consumers and businesses alike. Canada, Mexico, and China didn't just sit idly by in the face of these tariffs. They hit back with retaliatory tariffs of their own, targeting key American exports like agricultural products, bourbon, and motorcycles. These carefully chosen targets were designed to inflict maximum political pain on the Trump administration by hitting industries and communities that are seen as supporting the president. The retaliatory tariffs have already had a significant impact, with farmers in particular feeling the pinch of lost markets and lower prices. What started as a series of targeted tariffs has escalated into a full-blown trade war, with no end in sight. The back-and-forth tariffs have created a climate of uncertainty and fear in the global market. Businesses are hesitant to invest, consumers are holding back on spending, and the stock market is on edge. This uncertainty is further fueled by the unpredictable nature of the Trump administration's trade policies, leaving businesses and governments around the world scrambling to adjust. Economists are increasingly worried about the potential impact of this trade war on the global economy. The interconnected nature of global trade means that a disruption in one area can have ripple effects across the world. Higher prices for raw materials and finished goods, coupled with decreased demand due to uncertainty, could lead to slower economic growth, not just in the US, but globally. The International Monetary Fund has already downgraded its global growth forecast, citing trade tensions as a key factor. The tariffs aren't just abstract economic indicators, they have real-world consequences for American businesses and consumers. American businesses that rely on imported steel and aluminum are facing higher costs, forcing them to either absorb those costs or pass them on to consumers in the form of higher prices. Consumers are already seeing the effects at the checkout counter, with prices for everything from cars to beer on the rise. And if the trade war continues to escalate, those price hikes could become even more significant. While the tariffs impact the entire economy, some industries are particularly vulnerable. The agricultural industry, for example, has been hit hard by retaliatory tariffs, with farmers facing lost markets and plummeting prices for their crops. The manufacturing sector, which the tariffs were intended to help, is also feeling the pain as higher prices for raw materials eat into their profits. And the uncertainty surrounding the trade war is making it difficult for businesses in these industries to plan for the future. The trade war has reignited the debate over protectionism, with proponents arguing that it's necessary to protect American jobs and industries from unfair foreign competition. They believe that by shielding domestic industries from foreign competition, they can help them grow and create jobs. Opponents, however, counter that protectionism ultimately harms consumers by raising prices and limiting choices. They argue that it also stifles innovation and hinders economic growth in the long run. Beyond the immediate economic impact, there are concerns about the long-term consequences of these trade tensions. The tariffs have strained relationships between the U.S. and its closest allies, eroding trust and cooperation. This breakdown in international relations could have far-reaching implications for global security and diplomacy. The World Trade Organization, designed to regulate and mediate trade disputes, is being sidelined, further undermining the rules-based system of international trade. As it stands, the trade war is a fluid and unpredictable situation. Negotiations between the U.S. and its trading partners have been on again, off again, with no clear resolution in sight. The outcome of this trade war remains uncertain. Will it lead to a more equitable trading system as the Trump administration hopes, or will it devolve into a protracted and damaging trade war with lasting consequences for the global economy? The trade war is a complex issue with no easy answers. It's a story that's still being written, with global implications that will continue to unfold in the months and years to come. As we navigate this uncertain terrain, it's crucial to stay informed and engaged. The decisions made by our leaders will have a profound impact on our lives, our livelihoods, and the future of the global economy. Gabriel reporting for TBBar TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.